Flamin' Hot is the latest in what's becoming an almost artificial intelligence parody genre of true story adaptations about how products were made. This year alone, you can think of the likes of Air, Tetris, or BlackBerry. You know the formula at this stage. A business we now all identify and have our own individual relationship with is at a low ebb. They're struggling for ideas in a changing world. Usually the 80s because that has the coolest haircuts in music, when one plucky but also down on their luck underdog has the light bulb moment that changes everything, despite executives in suits yelling in their face, "Hey, you can never do X because of Y." Yet they succeed against the odds. The rest is history. And the credits have an uplifting montage that shows the title cards explaining how our heroes went from success to success afterwards. Literally, by the way, all of that is true in every movie I've spoken about, including this. I'm not exaggerating even slightly here. In this case, the X and the Y is, hey, you can never invent flaming hot crisps due to your cultural upbringing because society says only rich white men know the most about crisps. Eva Longoria directs their feature-length debut, and one you may have seen even pulled Joe Biden and the White House into the controversy surrounding it. For those who missed the controversy, it centers around a recent screening of the movie in the White House where Biden praised the central character, Richard Montañez, for his ingenuity in moving up the ladder in Frito-Lay, using his Mexican heritage to go from janitor to executive and create the world-renowned Flaming Hot Cheeto. There's just one problem here, though. Montañez may or may not have created the Flaming Hot Cheeto. A 2021 LA Times story has resurfaced recently to reveal that while Montañez was responsible in his role for the marketing of a lot of Frito-Lay's products, particularly in diverse urban communities such as his own, the influential rags to riches story he tells on the after-dinner circuit about his quote-unquote invention may be somewhat embellished. This has caused Longoria herself to have to pivot in promoting the movie, saying that stupid things like facts don't matter, guys, and the movie is instead about Montañez's indomitable spirit or something. The problem with it is that Longoria herself may have been influenced by said indomitable spirit, if you want to call it that, as she's down for a bit of plagiarism herself here. Some scenes in the movie where Montañez starts narrating a story in his own kind of charismatic, sassy Hispanic style that sees actors uncharacteristically start acting it out as if they were him for comedic effect is a joke directly stolen from the beloved Luis in Marvel's Ant-Man movies. So, in spite of all this surrounding the movie, the question is it actually any good? Well, there was a reason I started with the controversy, because truth be told, that's actually way more interesting than the film itself. Look, this is at times eye-rollingly cheesy, as a lot of these projects are. At one stage, Montañez is begging for a job, for example, and he says that he has a PhD. He's poor, hungry, and determined. And that's really the level that we're pitched at here. It's incredibly cynical and exploitative in wearing Mexican culture and the societal struggles of Hispanics growing up in the USA that doesn't particularly care about their plight for maximum emotional impact that the studios hope to turn into profit. We see Montañez being bullied in school as a child for eating burritos and then turning that into a business selling Mexican food to white kids who've never tasted anything like it before. He grows up in his entrepreneurial spirit and knack for sales, sees him become a successful drug dealer until his relationship with Adi Gonzalez's Julie forces him to go straight when they have kids. Unfortunately, the best he can do in terms of going straight is get a janitor job at Frito-Lay's, but there he befriends engineer Clarence C. Baker, again using his Mexican food to cross cultural boundaries, until he gets his opportunity to take his shot. The acting is solid and gives the film its heart, which is the main redemptive quality it has. And no matter how eye-rolling or well-trodden the steps it takes are, it means you can never fully dislike it. Longoria does well in making the movie zip along at a fun, spirited pace, so you quickly forgive things that cheapen the enterprise, such as a couple of voiceover clips that clearly had to be reshot and sound like they were done in an echoey bathroom. And look, as exploitative and desperate as it may seem to appeal to the Mexican audience, there is also something to be said for letting people see themselves and their lives being played out on the big screen. Montañez's rags to riches story, even if it is total bollocks, will no doubt inspire some Hispanic kids. So again, you can't fully hate it, even if it might deserve it at some times. All in all, Flaming Hot is corny and predictable. It's emotionally exploitative and tacky. It seems to just be a complete lie, but you can't really hate this movie when you watch it. It does work. It's not a great movie by any means or one you come back to, but if you're at a loss for a really easy popcorn watch, if you stumble across it or on a long flight and need something to watch, and there it is, it's a fine watch. And yeah, even though you're probably going to forget about it as soon as you're finished.